We're going to make a cookie soft with whole wheat flour, and you add your spices together and your vanilla and your baking powder, and the vanilla is already in here. I add these first to kind of make sure I get these here small amounts broken up and mixed pretty good so they don't just hang out in one part. It's starting to dry up and turn to a paste, so I add the 1 egg and just try and get it all mixed together. Just a little bit. You aren't going to get it all perfect. Just keep mashing it against the side so you don't have any dry pockets of your dry spices you put in here. And it's kind of doing okay. And now you add your honey. We've added our honey and we start folding it in, try and get it all mixed together. Just keep going till it's kind of like all one consistency. Add ½ cup of butter, which the old times it was just 1 stick of butter, and I like using real butter. Some margarines, cheap margarines, they'll separate when you mix it and they come out kind of crappy. So you do what they call cream. Try and mix the honey and the butter all together till it's a smooth consistency. So keep stirring till you get it all mixed together. And I had it sitting out so it got soft for about 2 hours, 3 hours. The softer it is, the easier it is to mix it in. Okay, I've been mashing the butter against the side of the jar of the glass bowl as best I can. It kind of looks real lumpy and you probably might be scared and think, well, that ain't going to work. Well, it will. Now we move on to our dry ingredients, starting out with 1 cup of whole wheat flour, and we keep stirring till this is mixed in thoroughly and is one smooth batter consistency. As the batter got thicker, our butter mashed in pretty good. It looks really nice and smooth. Move on to the next dry ingredient. 1 cup of instant oats. And you just slowly fold that in till they're all mixed in. Move on to the next ingredient. It's mixed in pretty good, the oats are. We move on to 1 cup of semi-sweet chocolate chips. And the same folding action. Mix it in. The dough's starting to get really stiff now. Only got 1 more ingredient now for chips to go. So it's going to take a little bit of muscle to get this here mixed out, so don't panic if it feels too thick to you. Ready for our walnuts? I like to crush them. I usually put these extra nuts into another container to store them. And I put the 1 cup back into the bag and just use my metal cup to press down and crush the nuts so they'll mix in easier into the batter. Now that the nuts are crushed, we add them to the batter. And if you want to, you can save the bag and reuse it for the rest of the nuts for another recipe. And it's the same pattern. Trying to fold these in, and it's getting stiffer and stiffer, which means that the cookies can be placed close together on the cookie sheet without spreading too much. So that's a plus. Keep going till you get it well mixed. Okay, you got the nuts mixed in thoroughly, and it's really stiff. It's going to be a little bit of muscle work here. And at this point, I like to go ahead and turn on the oven and let it preheat while I put my cookies onto the cookie sheet. And I use a tablespoon and use my spatula to smash it down, get any air pockets off, make it nice and tight. As I said, because this is pretty dry, you can put them close together, not touching, but close together. Should be able to get 5 across, and you just keep going until you get them all on your sheet. Well, my cookie sheet is full, 5 across, and I got 5 down, so there's 25, 26, 27. Probably if I would have made some of them smaller, could have come out with an even 30 to fill the whole cookie sheet. But they're in there. Now pop them in the oven, a 350-degree oven, for about 15 minutes. And what we want to look for is for them to melt down a little bit, and for the outside edges to have a light golden brown to them. And then we'll check the bottom and make sure that it's kind of golden brown. You don't want them to burn. So we pop them in the oven, and in about 15 minutes we check to see what we got. It's been 15 minutes. They lost their shininess. They look a little dull, but none of the high peaks are golden brown, nor are the edges. So we're going to put them back in for another 5 minutes and check them again. In another 5 minutes, pull the cookies out, and you can start to see that the high peaks are starting to turn a golden brown. And the final real test is to pop one up, turn it over, and it's just starting to get a dark brown. So we caught them just in time. And then you just let them sit and cool. But a trick I found is while they're hot, get a spatula and go underneath, free them up so you don't have them breaking apart when you're trying to take them up and twist them off with your hand. And we just let them cool for another 15-20 minutes, and they're soft now, but as soon as they cool off they'll harden up a little bit. Put them in an airtight container. When they're slightly warm they'll moisten up and they'll be a nice soft cookie. And there you go. That's how you make whole wheat cookies with whole wheat flour, oatmeal, chocolate chips, and walnuts. Hope you enjoy making your own.